What if I told you that the line between science and spirituality is starting to blur? That the most cutting-edge physics of our time is pointing to the same truths that ancient mystics have spoken about for thousands of years? It sounds like science fiction, but it's happening right now. We're discovering that the universe isn't a collection of separate, dead objects, but a vast, shimmering web of interconnected energy and information, where consciousness itself plays a starring role. Welcome to the quantum bridge, where science meets the infinite. For centuries, we lived in a predictable world, governed by Newtonian physics. The universe was seen as a giant clockwork machine. If you knew the position and momentum of every gear, you could predict the future with perfect accuracy. It was a solid material, and frankly, a bit of a boring reality. But then, at the dawn of the 20th century, a revolution began. Quantum mechanics shattered this billiard ball model of the universe. When physicists finally managed to peer deep inside the atom, they found something astonishing. They found nothing. Or rather, almost nothing. An atom is 99.9999% empty space. The solid chair you're sitting on, the device you're watching this on, even your own body, it's an illusion. It's a trick played on our senses by vibrating electromagnetic fields. At this tiny, fundamental level, things get even weirder. Particles like electrons don't just sit in one spot. Before we look at them, they exist in what's called a superposition, a cloud of all possible locations at once. This sounds strangely familiar to anyone who's explored Eastern philosophy. The ancient concept of Maya, or illusion, teaches that the physical world we perceive as solid and real is a construct, a veil. Spirituality is always taught that behind this veil of the physical lies a deeper, more fundamental reality. Now, it seems our most advanced science is agreeing. If the world is essentially empty space and vibrating energy, then our perception of solidity is a story our brain tells us. But the rabbit hole goes much, much deeper. And this is where things get truly mind-bending. I'm talking about the observer effect. It's perhaps the most profound and unsettling discovery in all of science, in a now famous experiment called the double slit experiment. Scientists fired tiny particles at a screen with two slits in it. When no one was watching, the particles behaved like waves, passing through both slits at the same time, and creating an interference pattern on the other side, like ripples in a pond. But the moment a detector was set up to watch which slit the particle went through, everything changed. The wave-like behavior vanished. The particle chose a single path and acted like a tiny, solid bullet, creating just two bands on the screen. The act of observation, the act of looking, literally collapsed the wave of infinite possibilities into a single, concrete reality. Think about that. The observer isn't a passive bystander. Their consciousness is an active participant that changes the outcome of the experiment. This isn't philosophy. This is a repeatable, verified scientific fact. And what's the spiritual interpretation? For millennia, spiritual traditions have told us that our thoughts, our focus, and our intentions shape our reality. They've argued that consciousness is fundamental, not just some random byproduct of a material brain. The observer effect provides a stunning scientific parallel. If our observation can collapse probability into physical form in a lab, what is our daily awareness doing to the sea of possibilities that is our life? It suggests we aren't just victims of random circumstance. We are active co-creators, constantly shaping our experience with the power of our focus. As if that wasn't enough to chew on, let's talk about something Albert Einstein famously called spooky action at a distance. Its official name is quantum entanglement. This is a phenomenon where two particles can become so deeply linked that they behave as a single entity, no matter how far apart they are. If you measure a property of one particle, you instantaneously know the property of its partner, even if that partner is on the other side of the galaxy. This communication happens faster than the speed of light, which should be impossible according to our classical understanding of physics. It suggests that on some deeper level of reality, space and time as we know them simply don't exist. There is no separation. This is the scientific echo of the spiritual concept of oneness, or none. This principle teaches that the separation we feel between me and you, between us and the world, is an illusion created by the ego. Entanglement offers a scientific framework for this idea. If the entire universe exploded from a single, infinitely dense point during the Big Bang, then in a very real sense, every single particle in the cosmos is still connected, still entangled. We aren't just in the universe. We asterisk the universe. We are literally part of a single, unified, cosmic organism. The feeling of separation is the illusion. The connection is the reality. So, where does all this stuff, all these particles and possibilities come from? Quantum field theory offers another clue. It proposes that particles aren't the most fundamental thing. Instead, the universe is filled with underlying energy fields. A particle, like an electron, is just a local vibration or an excitation in its respective field. Even in what we'd call a perfect vacuum, a zero-point field, exists a sea of roiling energy that contains the potential for everything that has ever existed or ever will exist. It's a state of perfect stillness that holds infinite potential. This field sounds remarkably similar to what spiritual traditions have called the Source, the Tao, the Akasha, or the mind of God. It's the silent, formless background from which all form emerges. In many ways, The practice of meditation is an attempt to quiet the chatter of our own minds, to tune in to this universal field of pure potentiality, to touch the source code of reality itself. Now, we have to be careful. We shouldn't oversimplify complex physics and turn it into New Age magic. The math is incredibly complex, but the philosophical implications are impossible to ignore. We are witnessing a monumental shift in our worldview. We're moving away from a purely materialistic paradigm that says matter creates mind, towards a new view where consciousness isn't just a passenger, but a fundamental aspect of the universe. As the great physicist Sir James Jeans once said, the universe begins to look more like a great thought than like a great machine. This incredible convergence of quantum physics and spirituality invites us to live with a new sense of awe and wonder. It suggests that our inner world, our thoughts, our intentions, our awareness matters profoundly. It's not just happening inside your head. If the universe is a single, interconnected web of energy, then every thought you think and every emotion you feel sends a ripple through the entire fabric of existence. You are far more powerful and far more connected than you've ever been led to believe. The bridge between the physical and the mystical is being built, and it's inviting us all to walk across and rediscover who we truly are. Thanks for joining me on this journey down the quantum rabbit hole. If this sparked something in you, hit that like button and subscribe for more explorations into the mysteries of our universe. What do you think about all this? Let me know in the comments below. Until next time, stay curious.